G'day, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to True Crime Tuesdays, or whenever you happen to be watching this. My name's Isaac Butterfield. This is Little Dixon, and welcome to Little Buttsmart. Check out the merch; it's very exciting. What are we talking about today, Claire?
Today we are talking about Katherine Knight. Katherine Mary Knight was born on the 24th of October 1955. She is the first Australian woman to be sentenced to life imprisonment without parole. She was convicted for the gruesome murder of her romantic partner, John Charles Thomas Price, in February 2000. She is currently being imprisoned at the Silverwater Women's Correctional Centre in New South Wales.
Maybe she's watching. Kathy!
Hey, crazy!
Please don't break out and kill us.
Oh, horrible woman. Katherine stabbed her partner to death, skinned him, then put his skin on a meat hook. Then she cooked his head and other parts of his body in a pot with the sickening intention of feeding it to their children. Thankfully, the police stopped this just in time.
Oh, fucking hell!
I know, researching this was a bit grim, I must say.
I mean, you know, we've all cooked a weird stew now and then, but throwing your poor hubby in there, even if he was a prick.
Well, they weren't married, though.
Oh, boyfriend, sorry. Well, that's fair enough then.
Yeah. He dodged a bit of a... Well, no, he didn't. He's dead.
He didn't dodge it at all. He walked straight into the meat cleaver.
I'm trying to channel my inner Stephanie Harlow when I do these, and every time I end up ruining it by saying something fucked.
Katherine Knight was born into a rather toxic family. Her father was an alcoholic who openly used violence and intimidation, and sadly would rape his wife Barbara up to 10 times a day. No wonder this lady was insane.
Yeah, she definitely came from a very, very, very hard upbringing.
So he used violence and intimidation on a daily basis, trying to scare his kids into doing what he told them to do, that type of thing, I guess. And fuck no.
There's a lot of sickos out there. So there's a reason, not to make excuses for her, but I think
but there's a reason she's fucked.
She wasn't just born evil.
Yeah, everyone's born a baby.
Exactly.
And then they're moulded into the people that often... Well, they're moulded into horrible people sometimes, good people other times, and most people in the middle. It's safe to say that Katherine didn't have the best start in life. Katherine went to school at Muswellbrook High. She was known as a bit of a recluse, a loner. She wasn't known for her happy demeanour. However, Katherine was a model student. She even won awards for her good behaviour. That is, when she wasn't in a raging mood. Sadly, her academic skills were not as polished. Katherine left school at the tender age of 15. She could not read or write at this point in her life.
Her first job was as a clothing cutter at a clothing company. 12 months later, Katherine stumbled across her dream job.
A butcher.
Her dream job was cutting up offal at the local abattoir.
Fucking, I was close. Oh, God.
Disturbing.
That's like those serial killers when you find out that they used to abuse animals and that type of
Oh, I know. It starts
thing. It starts young, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
You can sort of almost follow it back to where it started and go, oh, that was a warning sign or whatever. Jesus.
Yeah, she's a almost demonic lady, really.
Yeah.
Katherine adored this job. She loved knives and was even said to have had her favourite butcher's knives hanging decoratively above her bed head, just in case.
But that's a pretty normal thing to do.
Some have dream catchers.
Some have butcher knives.
Some have butcher's knives.
We've got 12-inch dildos.
Oh, dull.
And they're the small ones. We can't find the big ones. They're in my ass.
Soon after acquiring her dream job as the cutter at the abattoir, Katherine was swiftly promoted to the role of boning.
This job is where Katherine met her first husband, David. This marriage was fueled by jealousy, anger, and violence. During a heated argument due to David's late arrival home due to playing darts, Katherine was in one of her rages. She grabbed the scissors and began stabbing her husband in the stomach. He later moved out, which is probably a good move, but why later? Shouldn't you? Anyway,
He
I shouldn't
wanted
be
to have
laughing.
some toast.
I shouldn't be laughing, but it's fucked up. He later moved back to his hometown of Scone. He then got an AVO out against Katherine, rightfully so. Sadly, this horror story doesn't end here. Catherine finds another love, John Chillingworth, in 1997. In 1997, Catherine became pregnant to her new lover. She named their baby Eric. This relationship lasted just 3 years. Sadly, Catherine left John Chillingworth as she was having an affair with another John.
That bloody name. John Charles Thomas Price was a very well-liked and kind man. By all accounts of those who knew him, he was simply a terrific bloke. John had 3 children to a previous marriage that had ended in 1988. John knew all about Catherine's violent and distressing past. But this didn't put him off. His children adored Catherine and she adored them right back. Sadly, this story doesn't end in a happy family surrounded by a love-filled home. Instead, Catherine let her dark side take hold and tear apart her new, happy family. Catherine and John's arguments had become far more frequent and heated. They argued over work, money, being late, and John's refusal to marry Catherine. It is worth noting that throughout this relationship, John had said in passing, at work, often as a joke, if he didn't ever show up to work, it would be because Catherine killed him.
In February 2000, after a series of stabbings and heated arguments between the pair, a series of stabbings? Jesus!
Some people go to the bowler and have a feed.
Some others just stab the shit out of each other.
Yeah.
John had finally had enough of the abuse and heartache that fueled between them both. He filed for an AVO. This enraged Catherine. Despite filing for an AVO, John knew he had to go home for a while to care for his children and also protect them from this monster who they believed was family. John believed she would kill his children in an act of rage. He arrived home to find that Catherine had already packed the kids up and sent them to a friend's house for a sleepover.
John himself slept at their neighbour's house in fear. Earlier in the day, Catherine purchased herself some black lingerie and in a sickening act paraded herself in front of her stepchildren. The court said that this was an act of crude will.
I know we're laughing a lot at this. The reason we're laughing is because it is so fucked up. She's got butcher's knives over the bed. Her dream job is being a boner. She's stabbing husbands multiple times. Like, this bitch should have been locked up a millennium ago.
Oh.
And she's had a horrible upbringing which has caused this, but still, fucking hell. Lock her up.
Oh yeah, throw away the key. That evening, she forced herself on John. They had sex, showered, and went to bed. Neighbours who knew a little of the situation grew concerned that in the morning, John's car was still in the driveway. He hadn't headed to work yet, and he was always on time. Fearing the worst and having a sneaking suspicion, the neighbours phoned the police to do just a quick welfare check. Sadly, it was too late. John's life had been taken in a monstrous way. Police did arrive, witnessing blood at the front door. They then broke the door down and discovered the heinous scene. So what happened to John?
Well, Catherine had had enough. Knight stabbed John several times until he was dead. She then skinned him and hung him from a meat hook in the lounge room. She chopped off bits and limbs and baked part of his body into a dish containing potato, pumpkin, beetroot, zucchini, cabbage, and yellow cabbage as well.
She did have quite the palate, didn't she?
Didn't she? That's some Jamie Oliver shit. Fucking hell.
I know.
This bitch lost it.
Yeah, even gravy. I thought that bit was
That's
funny.
a bit of the script. Claire wrote, even gravy.
I thought it was weird. I was going through all this stuff, and then one of the reports said that she made a special gravy to put on top of it. And I was like,
Was it a gravy or a jus?
A jus. Jizz. No, she made gravy to put over his bits. Like, that to me made it sicker.
I just read the next bit. Catherine's final act of revenge was to feed this disgusting meal to John's children.
Yeah.
Wow.
With gravy.
Oh, that's all right then.
With
Fuck. And she nearly did. Thankfully for the distressed children, the police came banging through the door just in time to stop Catherine from feeding her stepchildren the flesh of their dear father, John. That's crazy.
There's a bit like that I couldn't really find. I don't understand how it happened that, if anyone does put it in the comments, but about how the police knew to go at that exact time. I couldn't find it anywhere.
Yeah, it sounds like a movie.
It does. I was like, what? I was like, how did they get there at that time? But something must have happened, whether one of the kids rang the police and was like, this bitch is crazy, get here.
Yeah.
I don't know, but it's really messed up. So she'd gone to, and what's even more like distressing, I think, is the fact that she didn't just murder this guy, she baked him into a big thing and then was going to feed it to his children. Like, that's twisted. That's not even evil. That's just beyond twisted.
Okay, so murderers murder people all the time.
Yeah.
It is very rare for someone to cook someone and then
skin
to
them.
feed it to their
And with
kids.
gravy.
Fuck, man.
The gravy really threw me. I don't know why.
So where's Catherine now?
Silverwater Women's Correctional Facility, rotting.
What a fucking horrible piece of shit.
Apparently there have been some reports that she hasn't had the easiest life in prison.
I bet. She doesn't deserve the easiest life in prison. And if anyone from John's family is watching this, I do apologise for laughing. We're not laughing at the death. We're more laughing at how fucked up this story is. It doesn't seem real.
It doesn't. It seems like a really grim novel or movie. It's
cool story.
Incredibly sad.
Thanks for that. That was a really cool story.
I hope you guys liked it. I'm sorry there was so much of a break between the true crime, but we've been busy people.
Yeah, we've been making merch, ladies and gentlemen.
But True Crime Tuesdays is back.
Fucking hell, that's crazy. That is one of the most full-on stories. That's like some Ed Gaines shit.
Ed Gaines?
He was a serial killer in America. I'm pretty sure Ed Gaines. Let me know in the comments if I'm wrong. He was the one who cooked a lot of people and ate a lot of people. There's been some fucked up humans throughout history.
Oh, put in the comments as well what true crime or disappearance you'd like us to cover next.
Yeah, let us know what video you'd like us to cover next. But Little Dicky, great script, well written.
Thank you, darling.
Some of your best work, young lass. Be a good motherfucker. Peace in the Middle East. Me dick stinks. To love. Bye-bye.
Bye.